from the man with the face that was made for radio. Hi guys, I want to talk about the latest, absolutely deplorable plan of the Democrat Party. Understand, they do a lot of stuff that is really scary. But this is something that is scary, very scary. The Democrats want to pack the Supreme Court with 6 additional justices. What? 6? Okay. We've got 9 right now. We have 9 United States Supreme Court justices, and they're fairly conservative for now. We have 6 conservative and 3 progressive. That means communist, God-hating pigs. 3 notably progressive justices, and we've enjoyed more or less conservative interpretation for a while now. But remember, as administrations and the legislature change hands, people come, people go, so our laws reflect those changes, and so do decisions by the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, it was over 51 years ago, back in 1973. I remember that year fondly. Not that long ago for me. Anyway, back in 73, a liberal Supreme Court ruled 7-2 in favor of allowing Roe v. Wade. This decision all but guaranteed women access to abortion at nearly any point during a pregnancy and even at the moment of birth with what they call partial birth abortion. Now, in June of 2022, the Roe v. Wade ruling was overturned again by the U.S. Supreme Court in a 5-4 decision. Now, in this landmark judgment, the court ruled that laws concerning abortion, like other laws, must be made and enforced at the state level. How about that, huh? The Supreme Court decided that the people should be free to make up their own minds and live their own lives, and that one set of laws cannot cookie-cutter cover all 50 states. Now, this has spurred outrageous debate and whining and crying and wailing and gnashing of teeth among the baby killers in our midst, Democrats. In fact, the Democrats at all levels are currently battling to grant any woman what they call a right to have an abortion whenever it suits her. Never mind the life that will be snuffed out, either preborn or even postborn. They want the right to kill it. They want the right. It's not a right to kill, okay? But that's what they want. In an attempt to salve the onslaught of angry baby killer wannabes, here comes Democrat Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon. Wait a minute. The words Democrat Senator should immediately set the hairs on the back of your neck up. He's from Oregon. Okay, we got a super liberal senator from a super liberal state. So, of course, he introduced a super liberal bill that would expand the U.S. Supreme Court from the current 9 seats to 15. Yep, 9 to 15. That's what he and a lot of similarly liberal, life-hating Democrats want. That is 6 extra justices. That's nearly double the freaking size. Even though Supreme Courts change from time to time, Democrats have become more and more impatient. They feel that by appointing another 6 judges, they can keep their knee on the neck of the Constitution and all who revere it. But Wyden's bill goes even further in demanding that Supreme Court justices, are you ready for this, be subject to annual IRS audits and be forced to subscribe to a new code of ethics. Ooh. They want this done because with the pressure of an IRS audit every year, looking for something, anything, and with a code of ethics they must ascribe to, this will allow the legislature, especially when it's opposed to the Supreme Court's existence, to modify their decision, to allow it, or to disallow it altogether. In other words, they want the legislature to become the Supreme Court. Does that soak in? The Supreme Court is one of the 3 branches of government, and their presence is there to prevent overt abuse of power by the legislative and or executive branches. With this bill, we will have effectively eliminated the balance of power that the Supreme Court provides. No matter how many years they want in order to phase in the additional 6, okay? And to begin their IRS oppression immediately. Remember, the IRS is one of the most powerful weapons in Democrat hands. They're always weaponized to demonize anybody that the Democrats don't agree with. So here we go. With the annual audits and the specter of discipline and punishment over their order policies, these things are going to hang over the heads of every justice. And there's no way around it. It will affect how they rule on constitutional challenges. Remember that interpreting the Constitution of the United States is their job. It is their job to police the constitutional rights of every American. It's their job to prevent dictatorship by either the legislative or executive branches, or, God help us, in the case of a supermajority government, that's when the Senate, Congress, and President are all the same party. This is when the Supreme Court stands as a bulwark of freedom, preventing the ruling party from abrogating the God-given rights of the American people and seizing total power forever. Do you understand? With the power to audit, with the power to pressure and punish justices of the court, Democrats will have a much easier pathway to getting what they really want. What do they want? Democrats define democracy as Democrat Party rule. They want to rule over you. It's not a democracy unless they're in complete charge and you are kissing their boots. You need to understand how important this is, because Democrats have a progressive agenda, and packing the Supreme Court is a great way to get where they want to be, which is a little bit of Chairman Mao Zedong in every heart. Scariest of all, ready, boom. They want this bill to become law under the Biden presidency. That's right, by January they want it passed and done. If they can pass this bill before January, there will be a juggernaut set into motion that nothing short of a Republican supermajority can possibly reset, and even then it's not assured. What can I say about this whiny-ass liberal Democrat Wyden? It's a bad bill, Senator. It's a very bad bill. America, it's a very bad bill. It is a suicide pact. Do you understand? It's wrong. I'm Max, and that's the way I see it.